What if I told you that one of the wealthiest men in America at the dawn of the 20th century was a formerly enslaved black man who built a potato empire so large it fed cities, and yet his name was nearly erased from history? His name was Junius George Groves. Born into slavery in 1859 in Greene County, Kentucky, Groves entered the world as property. He had no inheritance, no formal education, and no guarantee of freedom. When the Civil War ended, he was just a boy, but freedom for Groves was not the end of the struggle. It was the beginning of a calculated rise. After emancipation, Groves worked as a farm laborer and later enrolled at Berea College, one of the few integrated institutions in the South at the time. Though he was forced to leave before graduating due to racist policy changes, Groves had already gained something more valuable than a diploma: a deep understanding of agriculture, economics, and land ownership. In the 1880s, Groves moved to Kansas, where he began acquiring land, acre by acre, at a time when most black Americans were being pushed off it. He chose a crop few others saw value in at the scale he imagined: potatoes. That decision changed everything. Groves pioneered industrial-scale potato farming, using scientific crop rotation, irrigation, and business discipline decades ahead of his time. By the early 1900s, he owned thousands of acres, produced over 1 million bushels of potatoes annually, and employed hundreds of workers, both black and white. At his peak, Junius George Groves was worth an estimated fortune equivalent to millions of dollars today, making him one of the wealthiest black Americans of the early 20th century. Newspapers dubbed him the potato king of the world. His crops fed railroads, cities, and markets across the Midwest. But Groves was more than a farmer. He was a land baron, a bank founder, a community builder, and a strategic mentor who quietly helped other black families acquire land and financial independence. At a time when racial terror and Jim Crow laws crushed black ambition, Groves built wealth not through spectacle, but through ownership. And yet, despite rivaling the agricultural titans of his era, his story was never placed in textbooks. His name never joined the ranks of Rockefeller or Carnegie. When he died in 1925, much of America barely noticed. Today, his legacy survives in fragments: fields that once stretched to the horizon, ledgers recording harvests that reshaped economies, and a question history still hasn't fully answered. How many other kings built empires in silence, only to be buried by the stories we were never taught to hear? To watch the full video, click the link on our bio, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting hidden historical fact.